you guys, let's move on to headline number 3. So we had 2 huge headlines in the ongoing computer vision and checkout free wars this week. The first was Trigo announcing that they are coming to America. They're coming stateside with Wakefern. And second, that AiFi has opened a checkout free store with Aldi over in the UK, another market that's been expanding very rapidly when it comes to checkout free convenience stores. Jonathan, I'm going to go to you first. Which do you feel is a more important announcement? Trigo bringing checkout free tech after its success with Tesco in the UK stateside, or Aldi opening up this 6,000 square foot space with AiFi?
Okay, so I'm not trivializing either of them, but I think
yes.
I think the Aldi thing is a BFD.
Yeah, what do you
BFD?
think?
Wow.
BFD. What?
I seriously do.
Explain.
Well, you don't want me to explain the acronym, do you? Because I think you'd get
I get
adult rating in the
that part we're good with. But yes, talk about the Aldi. Why do you think Aldi's the bigger story here?
So here's why. I put myself in the shoes of sort of an exec at one of the incumbent grocers in the UK or in Europe, right?
Okay.
Here's the world in which you've lived. You've lived in a world in which the discounters entered. They took pricing down in the market as a whole. You did a whole load of work on taking costs out of your business and rationalizing your assortment to compete. And you thought you'd close the back gap, and you thought you had new sustainability in market pricing. And then along come these guys who you've always regarded as having the lowest cost model, particularly on labor. Right. And they say, do you know what? We've got a super standardized store and operating model. It allows us to scale technology way faster than you. And we're going to go again and take labor costs out of our business. If you're an exec in an incumbent grocer in Europe, you're thinking, seriously, please?
What are you going to do next? Give them bags?
You're thinking WTF,
give them their own bags?
Jonathan?
Exactly.
WTF, right?
I mean, it kind of is what do we do next? Because these guys, because of their model, because of the standardization of their model, et cetera, they can just replicate this at far greater speed, I would imagine. And then what are they going to do with the cost saving? Well, we kind of know what they're going to do with the cost saving.
Right.
That's interesting. David, what do you think?
So I thought both of these stories were important, but I'll lean towards Trigo just because I think that they're on fire, right? They've had success in Europe and now they're entering North America. But the more important point to me is around regional grocery in the US. I don't think Wakefern is getting enough credit for their innovation. So they did micro-fulfillment first with Takeoff. They've done this. I mean, I think there's a subset of regional grocers, call it the Wakeferns, the Giant Eagles, the Schnooks of the world, that are really leaning into innovation. And in my opinion, that's a good sign for regional grocers in the competition against the Krogers and the Walmarts of the world.
That's a great point, Dave. Chris, you've got something to say.
I do. I want to come back to Jonathan's point. And full disclosure, I think everyone that listens to this program a lot knows this, that we've done a lot of work with Trigo over the years. So, please take that in what I'm about to say. But I would side with David too. I think it's still Trigo. I think, don't get me wrong, the Aldi announcement is also huge, but it comes with one caveat, and I made sure to find out the accuracy of this information. The Aldi store that's opening in London is actually a new build. Mm-hmm. And so for Trigo, like a new build for Trigo is like drawing drawing something in crayon in my bathtub, right? Like it's so easy for them. It's like a walk in the park I don't know this for sure, but I got to imagine based on what they've done with other retailers, they're going to take a retrofit type approach with Wakefern too, or they have at least shown the capability of doing that with a large scale grocer like a Tesco. So I think while it's cool that they're doing it with Aldi, the bigger signal here is that someone in America is finally doing this. The regional grocer point is dead on too. Mm-hmm. Like it's cool to see somebody regionally starting to do this. So that's why I'd still give the edge to Trigo, because it signals that now it's come to America and now hopefully more people get on board, but not to downplay the Aldi side of it. But I think there's more that needs to come before I think we get to the point of, OS. Now we're going to scale this across Aldi really quickly.
So many acronyms in this.
I know, right? I'm trying not to
unreal.
Swear in this episode for the first time.
Yeah, I do think we need to give some credit to Aldi and the AiFi team. This is the largest checkout free outside of an Amazon produced store that we are seeing in market right now. But again, I have to agree with you guys. I think Trigo here is the stronger story. I think it's only a matter of time. The acceleration that we're going to see in this space in this next year, even alone, once Trigo opens that store this year with Wakefern, is going to make, you know, that 6,000 square foot store, you know, just a one small benchmark, and we're going to go far beyond that, to your earlier points. But
Jonathan, I'm curious, like what's you get the retort here, because it seems like we were kind of all three of us, David, Ann, and myself, were kind of gearing towards what you said, had our guns pointing towards you. What do you think? Final word.
No, well, I didn't take it that way. I thought we were arguing between a BFD and a BFFD or something.
Right. That's true, actually. Yes. But still arguing, right?
Yeah. So let me just counter a little bit let me just make the case for Aldi one more time, which is I want us to play a bit of a mind game, which is imagine they can replicate this in retrofit, which I do believe they're best placed to be able to do because of the standardization of their store model and the simplicity of their assortment. Let's imagine they do. What do you think happens when Aldi takes, I don't know, 3 points of margin out of their business and decides to put half of it into pricing, but get this, puts half of it into service and comes after bakery and deli, so looks a little bit more like Lidl? I mean, now you've got the three horsemen of the apocalypse going on for like incumbent grocers. So I just think a model like Aldi delivering a new round of price cuts and service enhancement is just like a rock in a pond in the grocery sector.
Yeah, that's a great way to frame it up here, you know, too. I think, you know, so in some ways we're probably remiss with the way we ask the question too, because it could be that Aldi getting into checkout free retail is the biggest story. And the question ultimately is, what is the provider upon which they're going to do that? And that is still way open. God knows who they could be working with on that front too. But, you know, that the fact that it's coming could raise all those issues you're saying is that's pretty damn important, I think, at the end of the day.